Welcome to the next roundtable of CWA Local 1180 and President Gloria Middleton. I'm Dominic Carter, and the topic at hand right now, a very important one, a woman's right to choose. We're joined by four members of the union. Let me introduce them before we start this conversation. Amanda Novello. Amanda is a representative from the private sector shops, and she works at the Century Foundation. Sharon Hepburn, administrative manager with the New York City Comptroller's Office. We're also joined by Mr. Anthony Lewis. He is a PAA at HRA, and we're also joined by Mary Mason. Mary is a local 1180 retiree from HRA. Madam President, the issue of a woman's right to choose, it seems like it's always in the headlines, locally and nationally, from President Trump to Albany.
Yes, and just want to make some things clear that was said in the headlines about the New York Reproductive Health Act. Nothing changes Roe v. Wade as far as New York City and as far as this New York State, as far as this act is concerned. The talk has been that New York now is the state that will abort a fetus in their 5th, 6th, 7th month, long-term pregnancy. That's not what this act was for. The third indicator that was placed into this bill was to make sure that if a woman's health was in jeopardy with the fetus, and if the fetus was not going to be viable outside the pregnancy, that the woman could then abort. That's what made it different from the Roe v. versus Wade bill. So people should understand that first. Having said that, a woman's right to choose should be a woman's right to choose whether she carries a baby or not. This debate has been going on for almost centuries. The woman carries the fetus. The woman has to deal with the delivery of the baby. We know our men help make the baby. Yes, they do. But it just makes my blood boil when I see a group of men sitting around a table deciding what a woman should do with her body.
Thank you.
Okay, that should not happen.
Amen. Thank you. Amen.
Anybody else want to weigh in on this topic?
Well, I have to agree with Gloria on this because I do believe women should have the right to choose what they do with their body, and men should not dictate what a woman should do with their body, considering the fact that we're the ones who make the babies. Mm-hmm. We're the ones who go through the pain. I mean, we could switch places, but...
Anthony, I don't know how that would work with us, right? I don't know if that would work with us.
That would be nice.
We're dealing with a serious topic, but can you think about for just 1 second, if a man had to carry a baby for 9 months and then deliver a baby? Just think about that for 1 second.
I've thought about it. When they have a cold, they in the bed dying. So no.
Exactly.
They have no idea what it takes for a woman to carry a child. I know you all have had other experiences, and feel free to talk about it.
Because I was in a situation when I was carrying twins, a girl and a boy. And the boy aborted in the 5th month of my pregnancy. So I had a choice. I could have aborted, or I'm going full term. And of course I went full term because I could feel the girl still moving inside of me. And the boy was in back of her. And I delivered both of them. And the boy came first, and then the girl. And my daughter, there were all sorts of medical reasons why I should have abort it if I chose to, but I chose not to. And my daughter is now 31
Wow.
and have 3 children of her own. And I can't even imagine my life without her if I had thinking about me and convenience, what were convenient for me, even medically, if I had aborted. But I trusted God through the whole process. So that was what brought me through that.
But it was your right to make
Right,
a
it was
choice
my choice.
that made the difference,
Absolutely.
even with the doctors saying that
Right,
you should.
because they presented to me that I should have, I could abort.
And this is the debate. We're not saying that everyone should abort or have the right to an abortion, and we're saying it in some ways, but we're also saying if I don't want to have an abortion, I have the right to say not to have it.
Right.
It's about a woman having the right to choose.
Yes.
Anthony, as the male on this panel, I know you are a married man, so I know you've had some experiences.
Formerly married. I'm a
Okay,
divorced man
okay.
right now. I agree. A man should not tell a woman what to do with her body. Actually, a man really can't tell a woman what to do with her body. However, a man can discuss the repercussions of not aborting versus aborting. When you're in a relationship and the woman gets pregnant and you can't afford to take care of yourself, let alone a child, some decisions got to be made. So to abort or not to abort, when you're in a relationship, it should, both people should talk about it. And, that's all I'm saying. I mean, that's all I feel about it. It's not, yes, you can't tell a woman to do what she wants with her body, but that's my child too, and maybe we could work something out where, we could take care of the situation, where we could grow with the situation. So,
Joint effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think of this in kind of the same way as I think about cannabis. Like, I don't know, whenever in the past there was a time that abortions were not legal, it didn't mean abortions didn't happen. It just
Exactly.
meant that they happened in back rooms with people who weren't doctors, and it was extremely unsafe. And I don't think we should go back to that time.
Correct. I've been around long enough to know when abortions were illegal, and I know what used to happen in basements and back rooms of God knows who were performing these crazy procedures, and women died because they didn't have the right to choose and to go to the proper place to get abortions. In this day and age, to still be having this conversation, whether a woman has a right to choose what to do with her body, should not be. In no way are we advocating that abortion should be a form of, birth control. You should protect yourself no matter what. If you don't want to have a baby, there are ways of having protection.
Does Madam President, does it bother you that in some states, as we speak today, those that are on the other side of this issue, legislatively, have closed down center after center for women, where in some cases there's only 1 or 2 in the entire state? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel less than. Again, in most of these states, it's legislators who are men who are making these decisions and making these decisions for women. That's why it's so important for women to be in political office so that we have a say as to what gets passed and what doesn't get passed. As far as labor is concerned, I believe most of my union brothers and sisters would agree that a woman has a right to choose. there are always going to be those who are on the other side of the coin. But at this point in juncture, we should allow our women to decide what they want to do with their bodies when it comes to whether they want to bring a child into this world or not.
It's almost as if people who are making these policies saying that women should not have the right to choose actually value life. And if they actually valued life, I think they would do things very differently. There are many instances, tearing kids away from their mothers, not investing in childcare and early education. There are a lot of ways that people could demonstrate that they care for children. So I just feel like this is pretty hypocritical for those who say that we shouldn't have the right to choose.
I'm glad you said that, Amanda, because in our next segment, we're going to talk about census and immigration. The Christian right, who talks about, we're killing babies, etc. We're doing it when the babies are born. We're killing them. So for us to have discussions about whether it's ethical for us to be doing this, is it ethical for us to be killing babies and separating children from their parents and putting them in cages? We are hypocrites here in America. And it's time for us to have a real conversation with people who understand what the issues are and not talk around them and use words that suit them. And so we're going to close this segment. and the debate will go on.
The debate is going to go on with our four panelists and you, Madam President. I thank you for what you just said, for what everyone basically said as it relates to, because just my personal opinion, I just don't understand. I understand that, two people make a child, but we just don't have a right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I'm sorry. That is my personal opinion. And what makes it even much more insulting is that if you look at the legislatures, we're just seeing in Washington where women are coming to public office more. And that was a boomerang against the current occupant of the White House. And so I do thank you for what everyone has just said on this panel. We hope that you will join us for the next one. It is very important, the issue of the census and immigration. I'm Dominic Carter, and we'll see you the next time.